Hi, welcome back to the dumbest modeling channel on all of YouTube. Today we're not building a model. Today we're talking about YouTube stuff. So, live streaming. I live stream with a group of people. You may have heard of them, may have seen a video. Hobby Time Modelers. Fun bunch of guys. And you don't need a lot to live stream. So, if you're just doing your camera via a USB cable, if it supports it. I have a Sony ZV-1 that the wife got me for something, I don't know, birthday, Christmas, whatever. That straight into the computer, and just using StreamYards, this works just fine. I got this little thing refurbished. It's an i3. I spent very little money upgrading it. I threw in a little solid state drive and pumped up the RAM to 16 gigs, and it does just fine. Now, then I found out about OBS. Ooh, that's cool. What's OBS, you say? Well, it's a, how do I put it? It is a content aggregation program to allow you to have multiple things streaming or recording at once. And so I started using OBS on the live streams, and I added this little guy, a Logitech StreamCam, so that I could have like a picture-in-picture thing going on, or multiple views, which you've seen on plenty of other YouTube channels. Now, here's where the problem occurs, is OBS is a little processor hungry. That little mini PC has, you know, just integrated video, nothing special. And sometimes it works okay, streaming at 1080p, and sometimes it completely craps itself, and your video becomes choppy, and your audio it's out every now and then. Yeah, exactly. I just sound like a Burger King drive-thru now. So we gotta pump up something. We gotta build or get a new computer. And I'm really trying to do this on a reasonable budget. A moderate budget. Not the dirt cheapest thing that'll do. I want something a little bit better because I want to record directly using StreamYards. Now, that requires a bit more power. If you just want to stream, let's say via StreamYards, OBS. I want to record using OBS, like regular content videos, not live stream. That needs more juice. If you just want to live stream using OBS and StreamYards, I'd say an Intel i5 or equivalent AMD processor, 16 gigs of RAM, a decent solid state drive, and you're pretty much good to go. You can stream picture-in-picture, you'll 1080p, it should be pretty smooth, it'll be smooth and sharp, that should be fine. My i3 processor is just maxed out 100%, even with some optimization settings in OBS to handle the anemic power of that little mini PC I showed you. But yeah, we want to do other things. I got this old GoPro Hero 5, and I don't use it for recording my content anymore, but it is, you know, a 1080p, I think it'll do 4K, and it would do nice because if I'm not using it for any audio, which was one of its biggest weak points, was the audio quality, you know, and the autofocus, meh. I mean, it has sort of infinity focus on these, but it's super wide angle. It's nice. I want to, you know, use it as like kind of an up close, you know, extra view of what I'm working on, like all those cool YouTubers do. And this, you know, I have that. We have another view here, and this is like our mobile camera. We can move this around and, like, you know, look at things and stuff and do all that fun stuff that you see people doing. So to do that, we took a trip to Micro Center. Now, if you don't know what Micro Center is, it is, how do I put it? It is a technology supermarket, aka a nerd's paradise for just tech everything. Computer components, 3D printers, home audio, video, TVs, you know, even soldering stuff, like all sorts of stuff, anything tech related. Plus they have a lot of those, you know, edgelord basement dwelling gamer drinks, you know, like not Red Bull, that's too tame for the hardcore gamer, you know, body odor crowd. Yeah, they got some crazy stuff there, and snacks and stuff, you know, lots of Haribo gummy bears and other things. Let's get these out of the way for now, as we do not need them. And yeah, Micro Center hooked us up. So this is a moderate budget build. Everything I'm going to show you today that's new in the box, everything new that I'm pulling out here, is less than $1,500. Mind you, one of the components alone is this thing, Camlink Pro. This allows you to hook up 4 HDMI inputs into the computer. It's a capture card. So basically, we can turn anything with a solid HDMI output or clean HDMI output into a streaming, into a webcam, basically. So our Sony ZV-1, we could do it to that, and we can do it to this, and well, the little Logitech camera, that's USB, period. So it doesn't matter. It'll suck them all in. You could use them all. It's great. So this was $200. This is a little bit of a luxury item. You don't need this. You could do the whole build without this. So without this, the build is less than $1,300, which is pretty good considering I saw pre-built computers floating around online and even at Micro Center with specs not as good as we're going to end up with today for more money. So yeah, there we go. Let's get this guy out of the way for now. But yeah, I've been kind of wanting that Camlink Pro for a while, so this is a good excuse to do it. I have a computer tower. I have it's a generic $90 Lian Li Lancool 205. It comes with 3 RGB fans, of course. I don't mind RGB. I mean, hold on. Let's get to the... There we go. Yeah, RGB. Okay? That'll be our theme there. So we're going to end up with some RGB, Gen Z? I don't know. Whatever. They love the RGB stuff. I don't mind it. It's cool. So I'm not going to bother putting the case out because it is very, very heavy. So here's what we're going to start with. Got a Core i7 13700K LGA 1700. A little pricey of a processor, but you will see where we're going. Because we got a bundle deal at Micro Center. I'm not sure if you can get it online, but it was a good bundle. We got an Asus Prime Z790. It's got PCIe 5.0, supports DDR5. It's got Wi-Fi 6. This is pretty cutting edge, the good new stuff. And we got some G.Skill Ripjaws, but this is DDR5 memory, DDR5-6000, so pretty speedy stuff. These 3 together were a bundle for $549 at Micro Center. Prices, good prices. This is June of 2023, and apparently the shortages are over with computer components, and now the retailers are getting piled up. But $549 at Micro Center, the same exact bundle, I'm shaking the camera, same exact bundle at Amazon was over $150 more if you put them all together. They had this bundle for $586 alone, and then when you add RAM, that was another $100 and something. So that's a pretty good deal right there. But I know I'm showing my age here with the trackball. I hear they're coming back into fashion, the trackball. Some of the gamers like them. And then you need a decent video card. OBS likes the RTX cards, and this is a 3060. This is, a slightly older chipset, but the new 40 series apparently are doing their best impression of Chernobyl and exploding and catching on fire. So this is a 12 gigabyte card. Yeah, there you go. Double fans, 12 gigabytes. We're not hardcore gamers here, so I didn't go with like a triple fan thing or any of that stuff. So that's that. There we go. And next, basic things. Oh, this was a nice one. We got the new Samsung 990 Pro PCIe SSD. This is just a 1 terabyte. All you really need, even if you're recording video to your local drive. I mean, you could add. I have a ton of drives floating around. I'm gonna add some extra old drives into the thing for storage, but that's all you really need. And this was it says $149. This was on sale for $99, and then with the purchase of a processor at Micro Center, I got an extra $5 off. This was $94.99, so that's a great deal. We got a decent power supply. You don't need anything crazy, no 1,000 watt. Honestly, 600 probably would have been enough. But I just, I'd rather have the power supply not stressing itself. Again, we're not doing gaming, like hardcore stuff. So 750 watt power supply from Asus Tough Gaming. Doesn't really matter. Just get a decent brand. And then we've got a... we're not doing that water-cooled nonsense. I've done that plenty of times. And unless you spend a massive amount of money on it, the sealed systems, they end up just like evaporating slowly and drying out, and then you got to get a whole new sealed liquid cooling system. So this is just I don't even know what the hell brand this is. DeepCool, whatever. That's a dual fan, dual radiator one, so it'll run nice and cool. And then again, we've got our Camlink Pro here, and that's it. The case is, use any damn ATX case you want. It doesn't matter. Whatever's cheap and has a couple fans with it, I think is a good deal. So $90 for that Lian Li case, and comes with 3 fans. So we didn't need to buy any extra fans. But if we want extra fans, I've got piles of old computers down here. I could pull parts in this and that and the other. So there we go. That's what we're looking at for our whole build. So we're gonna get this slapped together and install Windows 10 Pro or Windows 11 Pro, whatever. This, I think I have, yeah, I know it's a little beat up. I have this thumb drive. It has a Win 10 Pro installer, and I do have a key handy. So do not, yes, buy your, make sure you have a legit license for Windows, people. Don't just go whatevering. You know, it doesn't work out that well anymore these days. So we will be back with well, maybe some stages. We'll go through a little bit. If no one's ever built a computer before, I've been doing IT stuff since I've been doing computers since I was 14. So, oh my God, I mean, 30 years of working on computers. And that's basically, yeah, that's it. We'll go through a little bit of the build. All right, we'll be right back. Here's one of the more butt-puckering moments of building a computer. I've done this a bajillion times, but this is an LGA 1700 socket. So this is my first time putting one of these together. Last time I built a computer, well, we want to unlock this little thing. So we push it down, flop it out, that'll open, and then this will come up. There we go. We take off this protective cover, and this fella opens up right there. And now we can see the socket. Okay, there's a particular shape to everything, and okay. So basically, you want to make sure you got everything lined up there. So we got 2 pins off there. We got 2 pins off there. That's yeah, that right there is gonna go there. Yeah, it's gonna go in right like this. You want to be very careful when handling your processor. Do not touch anything on the bottom. Okay? Very delicate. I mean, installing processors has always been a bit terrifying. But you just want to gently lay it in there. Luckily, you don't have to push pins in anymore. It used to be pins coming out of the processor. Here's how old I am. And, oh man, those things, woo, if you screwed that, that was easy to screw up. Right now, it just nestles in there. Okay, we lay this back down gently. Okay, and then this will grab. And there we go. Our processor is installed. We got to put some thermal compound, install a heatsink on. I'm trying to figure out if I need to install the heatsink. No, it looks like I can do the heatsink because there is that cutout there. Looks like I can do the heatsink once the motherboard is in situ, which certainly makes things less terrifying and less precarious. Pretty sure all computers are like this now. Again, I haven't built a computer in almost 10 years. It's 9 years. I've just been, I don't know, just surviving, I guess. I have a good computer upstairs in my home office, and it's just been fine. I've never needed to do anything. So okay, we'll come back once we have the board in. We got to put this little I/O header panel on. That's pretty easy. It just snaps in from the inside, and it goes that way. Yes, and it just snap it as. Be careful with these things. This metal is frickin' sharp, like a razor blade. Yeah, really. Okay, so we'll get that in. I think it's in. Is it in? Oh no. Ask your wife. Ah, there we go. I'm probably gonna cut myself. There we go. I think. Therefore, I am in. Am I in? Okay. Not the easiest sucker to snap in. And then we shall, actually, why don't we just do this here? We've got our power supply in already. And we're going to gingerly lay this in place. And what do we have here? Are we lined up with all our screws? I think so. Yeah, we don't have to remove those. You could remove these 3 extra studs here, which I may just do, actually, because I don't like that they're touching the back of the motherboard if they don't need to be there. So we will get our handy dandy nut driver. Let's see what size these are. This is a 5.5 millimeter. That's too big. So it's either a 5 or a 4.5. And we've got a 5 millimeter. Perfect. Nut drivers are your friend. It makes things so much easier. So a little metric 5 millimeter nut driver. You could just get a bit to throw on your screwdriver if you want. That's just fine. And always these computer cases, they're all, and you can get a fancy computer case for like $500. I went with the $90 special because whatever. I mean, it's really just holding everything together and, you know, controlling, you know, cooling. And some cases are better than others at cooling. And we just got to get a few screws in there. Use a good Phillips head. So a VHA screwdriver is nice. These tips are extremely precise to get in those Phillips bits. Power supply goes in upside down in this case. It kind of irritates my OCD a little, but whatever. The case was $90. Basically, I guess the cheapest component of this entire build. So there we go. We'll be back. We're gonna get this thing screwed in. Okay, so we pulled off our heatsink here. You get a motherboard with a heatsink. You do have to peel off the back of this thermal pad before installing. And now we're installing a tiny little stud into the motherboard. This is the standoff for the PCIe solid-state drive. And just by hand, put it in. And then again, your 5 millimeter nut driver comes in handy. There we go. These nut drivers are great. I'm quite happy. They're so great, Amazon sent me 2 sets of them. There we go. Okay, so you know what we're gonna do? This was sent to me in accident, on accident. I hate when people say on accident. By accident, and Amazon basically, there's no way for me to return it. Electronically, this didn't exist. So, for anyone watching this video who's building a PC and wants a set of these beautiful WIHA German precision nut drivers, like the video, publicly subscribe so that I can see your subscription, and then comment down below and say, I'm a nut and I want the nut drivers, or something. I mean, I'm a nut, not you're a nut. I'm a nut. I'm the nut. I'm an idiot also, but here we go. Okay, so there we go. That's up for grabs. All right, so do your thing. Do your thing, viewers. So now that we got our little stud in place, and just a tad. You don't want to really torque on these suckers. Okay. This is another one. You want to be a little careful. There's a lot of tiny pins, so we install this at like about a 45-degree-ish angle. Wiggle her down. Get in there. There we go. You got to push a little bit. So that's about a 30-degree angle, and see, it wants to pop back up, which is fine. That's a good little tension. Magnetizing your screwdrivers could be a controversial topic among computer builders. Mine are all magnetized from working on hobby things. And then we'll put our little screw in there. And again, just snug, like a little more than snug, but don't go cranking on those things. And then we have to put this heatsink back down. So now we will, what is this, goop? Some kind of goopy, there we go. Put the goop down. If you don't have a heatsink, you're not cool. No, if you don't have a heatsink, it's not a big deal. They actually sell SSDs now with built-in heatsinks. So we're going to take that little screw, tighten it down a bit, because these have this like kind of smooth bore shaft, so you don't have to crank this down all the way. You just want to crank it down. There we go. I think we're in the hole now, are we? There we go. Now we're in the hole. And we're just gonna tighten this until we feel a little bit of tension. Same thing. Tighten until you feel a little bit of tension. Okay, give it a little bit of a twisty twist. It's not even an eighth of a turn once we felt tension. And that goop, that double-sided goop, that'll just smush onto the SSD and help cool it. That's a pretty nice feature actually in this motherboard. For a few bucks more, if you don't have that, you can buy an SSD with its own built-in heatsink. Now we got to put in, I guess, a video card. We got to put in the processor cooler. We got to put in the RAM. That's easier to do when the giant cooling block is not there. So we'll be back. Okay, time for some RAM. DDR5. That little notch is special on every version of DDR, and I'm only installing 2 chips. If you're doing 4 of the same size, just all 4. If you're only doing 1, then they want it to go into this A2 slot. If you're doing 2, they want it to go into A2 and B2, so the 2 lighter gray slots. Not that you could see it with all the damn light in here blowing out, and so one time you're actually going to push fairly hard on something is support the motherboard. There we go, because it's a little not supported at this end. Okay, got a RAM in, and again, BRB. Eric. Rah. Holy heat sinks, Batman! Look at the size of this damn thing. I pulled it out of the box and I'm like, is this thing even gonna fit with the case closed? So I just gently laid it down there and I tested it. The case side will actually install. That's something you got to worry about with a special, with these fan, good old-fashioned fan coolers now. They're getting so damn big. You got to make sure your case is big enough to swallow this gigantic load. Oh my God! All right, so now we got to put in this back bracket, and the instructions from the cooler actually tell you these pins are movable here. So for older LGA, you leave them where they are. For LGA 1700, which is what we have for our Gen 13 Intel processor, we gotta come in from the back and do that. It's a little fiddly, but basically we're gonna put it in from the back. We're gonna screw on these 4 studs, and that should be that. I don't think it has any orientation. It's like perfectly square. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We'll be right back. Okie dokie, people. Well, we've got our we got our thing installed there. So oh God. Okay. So we got this guy in there. All right. And then the way to install these studs, they're just knurled for your pleasure. But get them started. Get all 4 started, and then go around in a crisscross star pattern back and forth, tightening each one a little at a time so they evenly put pressure on the back plate there. You don't want it like, if you tighten one all the way down, it's going to be all screwed up. Just a little tight, keep going back and forth until you can't really tighten them much more with your finger strength. That's all that should be needed. And then we got more instructions here. LGA, there we go. So we got LGA 1700, and we got to put on these plates. We got to put on these plates with the stud facing up, right there, right there. We probably want to get them centered pretty well. And then we got to screw them down using the other little bits that are called out in the instructions. You don't want to watch all that. I'll be back. Okay, sweating a little over here. I haven't put, like I said, been a while. We've got our little cooling paste from DeepCool. It wants us to put 5 dollops on here. Just a dabble, do ya? Last time I did this, they gave me a little, like, a putty knife type thing to spread it out. Probably good. We'll just If you have too much, it just spooges out everywhere. You don't need to buy super duper thermal compound. I mean, if you're trying to overclock the shit out of everything and squeeze every iota of performance that you can find, then be my guest. Now there's also, since this is a dual fan, we want to, ahead of time, it comes with a splitter here, which is just big, ugly mother effer. I don't want to, oh god, I don't know, I guess it is what it is. This is the CPU fan plug right there. I'll just put this to the side. Cable management be damned. Whatever. I mean, she's ugly. It's not good looking. But we can, oh yeah, we can tuck it away probably. Yeah, we can get that tucked away somehow or another. Oh, now I'm stuck. Okay, this is what happens. Okay, whatever. We don't have a blooper reel on this channel for a reason. And then we want to get these guys untied. Wires all over the damn place. I don't think the orientation of this cares too much, but I usually put the fans in front, blowing to the back of the computer, which is the proper way to do it. Because there's an exhaust fan behind this also, so that this thing has some pretty good cooling, I think. Okay, terrific. Now, okay, this is going this way. Okay, so the fans are going to be facing. Okay, so we're going to have them blow up out the top because, in case you didn't know, heat rises, and I'm a friggin' moron already. Look at this. We've got to unclip this fan. Just not a design I'm used to here, that's all. Get that out of there so we can get to the screws. Oh wow, it's so much easier to install when you can see what you're doing. There we go. And our fat screwdriver just fits in there. Now we're going to go one screw just a bit. Then we're going to hit up the second screw. We want even pressure. That's the trick here. Okay. Okay, we're feeling a little snug there. Starting to get some tension here. Don't worry about your goop. If the goop spooges over a little, it's not going to hurt anything. Okay, that's nice. That's getting very snug. That's getting very snug. And not too snug, but not too loose. Okay, it feels good and tight. German torque spec, guten tight. Oh yeah, old dad jokes. They are rampant on here with me. Okay, and we'll get our other fan slid back in and get those weird things clipped on. So she should be good to go now. We got our power cords here. We got our power cord Y harness here. They only go in one way, thankfully, or else you know I'd screw it up. There we go. Okay, so these wires are some ugly sods, but whatever. We'll get those out of the way. This is massive. Okay, great. What else do we have to do? For anyone watching a computer build channel, always a good idea. Shower once a day. I'm about to hop in the shower myself because I got to go out and about in a minute. Oh, don't hold liquids over a computer build. I don't think I've ever soaked a computer, but I don't want today to be the first. Now we got our video card. Let me get this unpacked and take a look at its instructions. Yes, I am reading the instructions, people. I've built dozens, hundreds. I don't know how many damn computers probably hundreds. Back in the day. Always read the instructions. It's pretty simple to not screw up things, mostly, if you read the instructions. They're quite minimal these days. I think everyone knows. Everyone has a short attention span theater. There we go. Okay, not much to it. Okay. Any about VGA connectors? Okay, it tells you about connectors, so you know if you have to get an adapter. Oh, that's actually kind of nice to know. I know about those, but not everybody does, maybe. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Video card. There's a little protective cover on there we slipped off. This is nice. Man, I've never had one of these big boy cards before. I've never really needed one. How does this thing... Could this thing even fit in here? Let's see. Oh, I pulled off the wrong slot covers there, apparently. It doesn't even use the top slot. Oh, that's embarrassing. No wonder they didn't make that screw easy to get to. Come on. Yeah, you know, with the cheap cases, sorry, here. The cheap cases, they don't make it easy, as easy to do things as with the more bougie computer cases. So, you know, some of them just they're tool free. You know, PCI slots. Okay, we're just. Oh, for fudge's sake. Okay. Is that good? This is why you want a magnetic screwdriver, in my opinion. Again, someone could chime in and say why it's a horrible idea to use a magnetized screwdriver. But so far it hasn't been an issue for me, I don't think, ever. There we go. I'm going to shove this giant card in here. There's a latch you undo here. You push that out and back. And now we're going to play Contortionist. And try to... Hey! Look at that. I think we're in. Yeah. Appears to be these little plugs for the display port and everything are. Now, how do you... Okay, I think that thing automatically locked itself in. So, that's good. Of course, your ASMR of peeling off the protective plastic. Look at these fancy stuff, this fancy card. How nice. Okay, so that's in. So we just got to secure it with a couple screws, and then go wash our armpits, amongst other body parts, and go see the in-laws. Oh, for God's sake, I'd rather be building the computer. But no, I'm just kidding. There we are. Woo! Okay. And then we got this thing. And that goes back down. No wonder we didn't actually need to remove that screw before. And I'm an idiot. I shouldn't even be tightening this because I got to put another card in here. I got to put in my Camlink Pro card. So that shall be next. All right, we'll be back. Okay, our Camlink Pro with 4 HDMIs. And we're just going to line her up right here into that slot. Well, that was easy. Easier than the video card, that's for sure. And yeah, secure this little feller with a screw. Okay, and then tighten that clamp thing back down. And oh my God, this thing's getting heavy. There we go. We got, oh, that is so tight right there. I don't like that it's over so far. I'm gonna adjust this definitely for sure. But yeah, you get the gist of it. Let me. I definitely don't want that thing where it is. That's way too. Yeah, it's okay. All right. Just got to push it. These cheap cases, you know, the alignment is not NASA, you know, precise or whatever, SpaceX, I don't care. Whatever your favorite precision type people would be. Okay. Now, this thing, there we go. Yeah, that's better. Okay. HDMIs are clear. Yeah, you know, whatever. Yeah, I could regret buying the super cheap case. Whatever, just a cover plate. All right, next up, let's see. We got our SSD in there. We've got our RAM. We've got our processor, our cooling fans, our video card, the capture card. We got to throw in, I think I'm going to throw in an auxiliary hard drive possibly, maybe. Maybe not. Not to start. Power supply. So we got a, at this point, we've got all of our components installed, and time to start wiring up all these power things. So the nice thing about these modern, more gamer-style power supplies, they don't have every cable coming out of them by default like they used to back. I'm aging myself now. You just put in what you need, which is friggin' awesome. I like that. That's a lot nicer than how it used to be. So the cables are going to take a while. We're going to do a little Velcro here and there to keep things tidy, and I'll be back with what you don't care about. The cables should be done. And that's almost it. Hey, there's no drive bay for my DVD-ROM drive. What the hell? Yeah, I'm old. Be right back. We're back from the mother-in-law's, and I spent the last half an hour or so just plugging all the cables in. This is where probably a higher-end case would make things a little easier. But basically, you reference your motherboard for where everything goes, and you cross-reference that with your case. If your case has all sorts, you know, your case is going to have, you know, USB headers. Here's a USB-C header, USB 3 header, audio header. There's some, these we don't have to worry about. Those are internal. This motherboard has its own little daughter board. I mean, this case has its own little circuit board for all the LED fans, and then there's just your power button right there. You have to get all those things plugged into the right spots. You know, it's not that hard. You just follow both manuals. Your motherboard. And you're okay. There we go. So, we have room for 2 extra storage drives here. I'm not sure if I'm going to install those tonight. Maybe I will. Yeah, why not? They're 3 terabyte. I have Western Digital Purple. They were in a security DVR computer I built years ago, and they only ran for a few years. So they're probably still good, or maybe not. You know, if I need a ton of storage in here, I have 1 terabyte in the PCIe SSD. If I want to add extra storage, I'll just buy some extra storage at some point. That's more than enough. I'm not doing all my main video editing on this machine, even though it will probably do it a lot faster than my current computer I'm using for video editing, because I don't really edit video. I just stitch them together and upload to YouTube. We're cold opens and single takes on this channel. There we go. If you're new here, I don't build computers every episode. This is the only computer I'm probably ever going to build on my channel. So, that's it. Unless Micro Center decides to start sending me free stuff, then sure, what the hell. But yeah, more expensive case would probably make life easier as far as wire management goes, because there's basically none of it with this thing. I could Velcro some stuff in, but to be honest, it's almost not worth the damn trouble. Hold on. Just moving my chicken. Don't ask. Okay. Alright, well, she all fits. So that's good. Got a couple of those little thumb screws in here. Woo, chilly. Chilly metal. I am such a jackass. I started recording again here, and I forgot to have my proper lights on. I don't think any of the computer people really care about this. But there we go. That's for the hobby people. And, okay. There's the meat and potatoes. A lot of garbage piling up over here. So there's everything. That's about it. You only need the power cables that you need, basically. If you want to add extra things later on. Like there's this cable that came with the motherboard with the power supply. This is to power dual PCIe video cards. And this is some high density, I'm assuming something cable. It's got a lot of whiz-bangery going on in there. I don't think I need it. I don't see anywhere to plug it in on here. This might be for some specialized other video card. Not even sure. I could read the booklet and find out, but I'm not using it, so we're just going to skip that. Then we got the old school, the Molex connectors. We're not going to be using those because we don't have any devices that need that. And then we've got some more SATA power cords. You know what? I'll go ahead and add those and just tuck them away inside the drive bays here for later use in case I need them. There we go. Get the rest of our case buttoned up here. This thing. Nope. That doesn't look right. There we go. And then our tempered glass. Yes, I was throwing meat out on it. Sorry. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah, that nice farting noise that the plastic makes. We got a layer on the inside as well. Get that on there. Very nice. Steamy, I know. Condensation. Condemnation. Yeah. That'll all dry itself out. No worries. And then we can snap the faceplate back on here and we'll be all done. And we get to load an operating system. And hope that goes smoothly. I'm sure it will. Oh. Okay. That's upside down, idiot. There we go. There's our budget build. She's all done. Nothing fancy. I don't care about all the crazy RGB special effects. But yeah, this should do nicely. The USB 3 is right on the front top there. I just don't know where I'm going to put this big giant thing because you saw my old computer, which was this little thing. This is what I was running on, and now we've got a Mac truck where we were using like a Kia, I guess. So whatever. All right, I'm gonna get the OS loaded on here, but that's pretty much it. You just build the regular media creation tool on Microsoft.com. For this is Windows 10 Pro. I'll just upgrade it to Windows 11 after. I don't feel like making a new one of these. The dog ate the key. It still works. Samsung makes great stuff. I think that's probably about it, other than installing our Wi-Fi 6 shark fin, which I have no idea how it goes together. I'm going to finish reading the instructions. So there you go. That's how you build a computer. Bye, everybody. Adios. Thanks for watching the dumbest modeling channel on YouTube. Build a computer. Bye-bye. All right, post-credit scene. She's up and running. Ooh, RGB goodness. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it works. The first power on was a little unnerving because nothing happened. Apparently this thing just has a really long post on its BIOS for boot. But yeah, works perfect. Everything. Hey, look at that. Zero failures. Zero failures. Whatever. I did something. That wasn't. Oh, Jesus. Someone's going to take that the wrong way. Can't do anything anymore without someone getting bent out of shape. A little shark fin. This thing has, by the way, this motherboard has amazing Bluetooth range. This is the Wi-Fi 6 shark fin antenna. I use these little, come on. Things are getting tangled here. There's these little Sony Bluetooth earbuds for when I'm streaming or doing stuff, you know, online. And I'd walk like 6 to 8 feet away from that old mini PC to go grab a beer or I'd walk further away over to the bathroom, and they would just cut out horribly. No range. This thing has amazing Bluetooth range. So if you need to walk 20 feet across your workshop or whatever, you'll still have your audio connected reliably. This has, you know, Bluetooth 5 point whatever, I don't know, the newest Bluetooth. That's what the sales guy at Micro Center said when I said, how's the Bluetooth range? And he goes, and those sales guys at Micro Center, they really know their stuff compared to anybody else at any other retail establishment for the most part. If the people at Home Depot were as good as the guys at Micro Center, oh boy, we'd all be building our own houses by now. But yeah, we can build our own computers. Micro Center people, they'll assemble it for you, I think, if you're too scared about busting it up or just too intimidated. They're not mechanically inclined whatsoever. But we build things on this channel. So there we go. That's it. Okay, so we're gonna just sign out with some RGB edgelord action here, I guess. I don't know. I was going for minimalistic, but the $90 case said otherwise. So either way, final goodbye. Adios, everybody. Thanks for watching. Build your own computer. There you go. Stream away, my friends. Stream away.